think it's 7 o'clock and we can start. This is my first night as chair, so you'll have to excuse me if I make some mistakes. My fellow commissioners will point them out to me, I'm sure. I want to, and you too, yes, Citizen Ray would point them out to me in any event. I want to welcome you for coming tonight. It is the meeting of the Planning Commission. And one thing I did want to say, because over the course of the last 5 years, I've noticed sometimes people confuse who we are, the Planning Commission, with the Town Council. The Town Council makes the laws, so to speak, except for the state laws. They set policy. What we do is we take those laws and that policy and we apply it to facts. So sometimes people think we can change things that we can't do. So I point that out to you. Secondly, for an applicant, the applicant should know that we have read a staff report, we've looked at plans, we've looked at any correspondence. I'm saying this generally, not in a particular application. So we've looked at a good number of things before the applicant comes forward. So by the time the applicant does come forward and then the public gets its opportunity to speak, we're really looking for their insight and perhaps something new and different that they'll have, or some comments on what we think we already know, and they can bring a different slant to it. That procedure goes that the applicant gets 5 minutes, then the public, or those who wish to comment, get 3 minutes, and then it goes back to the applicant, who has what we call rebuttal, and that is 3 minutes. Now, those times I've given you are not mandatory time limits. In other words, it can be up to. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be 3 minutes. So that's the general procedure that we will be following, which we always follow and will be following tonight. And secondly, if you do want to speak, and we have public comment about matters not on the agenda, and that's early on, and then we have public comment on matters that are on the agenda. And what we ask you to do is to fill out a speaker's card, which is usually on the back of the benches that you're sitting on. That helps us greatly, and so I would request that you do that. When you fill it out, if you would bring it over there and drop it off with one of the young ladies, they'll bring it over to us. So that having been said, we can now move to the agenda, and I would ask Sandy to take the roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Jensen?
Here.
Commissioner Sayoc?
Here.
Commissioner Machici?
Here.
Commissioner Telesfor?
Here.
Commissioner Bourgeois?
Here.
And Chair O'Donnell.
Here. If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, I'll start my tenure by leading it myself this evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next matter would be the approval of the minutes of December 12th. If you look at your agenda, it says December 10th, but they're actually the minutes for December the 12th, if I've gotten that correctly.
Actually, I think it's just the opposite, yeah.
So it says the 12th and it's the 10th, right? Okay, thank you.
Correct. And I'll move to approve the minutes of December 10th.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and now are there any comments? Commissioner Jensen?
I'm abstaining because I was not present.
Thank you. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I believe it passes unanimously. All right, written communications. I have seen none. Are there any?
No, there's not.
All right, no written communications. And there are no requested continuances. I'm going to ask committee members who've attended a subcommittee meeting since our last meeting to report on that this evening. So I'll ask essentially for those of you on committees who have met, one of you, if you would speak on that, what took place. Commissioner Telesfor.
Thank you. The Committee on Conceptual Design Advisory met tonight, and we saw the conceptual proposal for Safeway on North Santa Cruz. They're coming in, they will be coming in for a demolition of the building to upgrade it and to turn it into, they're talking about turning it into one of their model pilots for this area. They are at 25,000 square feet now, and they would like to take it to 40,000 square feet plus. And I'm not sure where the plus is going to be. One of the new things we're going to be bringing with that proposal is using the store as a multifunctional store. In other words, besides your groceries, they're going and enlarging the meat area and the produce area. They're planning on bringing in a banking and coffee, a coffee bar, a juice bar, and what was the other one?
Pharmacy.
And a pharmacy. So it would be almost like a one-stop shop. So that's what they're looking at. They are proposing to, with this expansion of going underground for parking, and they're looking now at a traffic study, and they will be doing that as well. There could be some issues with that, so that'll be something we'll be all looking at soon. They'll also be looking for a variance for the rear setback, which is at 20 feet now, and they're asking for 20 feet. So it's sort of to bring it into alignment. Is that what you just said?
Well, they're actually going for
Commissioner Bill?
PD, not a variance. If
Oh,
they
that's
go for
right.
PD, they can go with the 20-foot variance.
That's right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Matici was there tonight with us. And the committee from Safeway has met with neighbors on 3 occasions and has actually advertised in the newspaper here in town, the local newspaper, for those meetings. So they have really made an effort to include as many people as possible in this beginning of the process. Actually, this is about 3 years worth, 2
Yeah,
years.
I've been going at it for at least,
Yeah. So that was, I conclude. Anything else that you would like to add? Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any of the other committees, Commissioner Sack?
The Sustainability Committee met last year in December. The purpose of the meeting was to review the emissions reduction plan, but we were told that the contractors that we have hired does not have it ready, and we anticipate that coming in April.
Thank you. Any other committee? All right. There being none, the next matter would be verbal communications from the audience. I have one card, and that's Citizen Ray.
Hey, Citizen Ray.
Please. I called you Citizen Ray.
The chant, gotta have.
Oh, I'm not good at chanting. Unless it's Gregorian.
Yes, indeed. We're off to a brand new year. But what an ugly way to start the new year with this past election, okay? And what many of us heard in the buzz around town from the election was that the current majority of the Planning Commission was going to be replaced one by one, okay? And the first one, it has happened. Michael Kane, probably the most honest, distinguished member of the Planning Commission since I've been here, was dropped by the town council, okay? Unbelievably ugly. What an ugly situation. What a reward for the 8 years of service that he put in beautifully to uphold the neighborhoods, uphold Los Gatos values, uphold the laws in place, and not to be a stooge to the politicians on the town council. So ugly. Anyway, Mr. Bourgeois, Ms. Telesfor, and Ms. Sayok are programmed next to be replaced as their terms run out. Ugly. But I want you to know we are organizing. We, the people of Los Gatos, are organizing to make a hell of a fight out of it, okay? And we're not going down easy. We may call the FBI in and ask them for their help to clean out the corruption that exists in this ugly little town, okay? DeSantis is the case in point. The rape of the mountain was accomplished without a vote of the people. The mountain was stolen from us by 3 uglies on the town council. One of them is left, thank God, and we really should decontaminate this room. The definite odor is still here. So, please be aware, we're not giving up without a fight, and we're going to find out if this community has a soul other than the dollar bill. Other than the dollar bill. Is anybody there? Does anybody care about Los Gatos values? We'll find out. So stay tuned. Thank you.
All right, the next matter would be the only public hearing we have on this evening, which is for 16185 Los Gatos Boulevard. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to operate a bakery and a cafe on property zoned CH. I guess I should ask first whether, which of the commissioners, have you all visited the property? Okay. I have visited the property too, so we've all visited the property. Is there a staff report?
Ms. Savage will be doing the presentation.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. The site contains a recently constructed commercial building containing 6 suites. The proposed use would occupy the frontmost suite on the first floor along Los Gatos Boulevard. The applicant is requesting approval of the conditional use permit to operate the bakery and cafe. The applicant is proposing to operate the bakery and cafe from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday, and from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. The proposed use would comply with the parking requirements. This concludes staff presentation, and I am available for any questions.
Do any of the commissioners have a question? Commissioner Bourgeois?
Thank you for the staff report. Just a quick question, and it may not particularly pertain to this application, but obviously this is the first of several vacancies in the building, and I appreciate the traffic report and numbers. They were a minor increase. It was not considered a significant effect to traffic. But how do we analyze that cumulatively? I mean, it seems like if a series of these CUPs come in, the last one might be out of luck, unless I just want to understand that process.
A traffic study was prepared for the original proposal, and that analysis was based on retail and an office establishment. So there's already been a traffic fee paid for those traffic increases. If additional use permits come in, it'll go through a hearing process, and we will look at the traffic analysis. And it'll be a cumulative thing. It'll be based on the original analysis and built on top of that.
And that original analysis was based on the required spaces that are shown in the table in our report, or those number of
Required uses.
required? Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we can hear from the applicant now. Please state your name and give us your address. And I don't have a card from you. Perhaps when you're through, you could fill out a card and let us have it.
Okay, I can do that. Good evening.
Thank you.
My name is Al Amidi. I'm the owner and owner of the building at 16185 Los Gatos Boulevard. We just finished there. I'm resident in Los Gatos for the last 25 years. My house is on 16850 Los Gatos Boulevard. I'm sorry, in Cypress Way. I live about 5 minutes away from here. I lived that place for the last 15 years. And I'm proposing for this bakery and cafe on my property. And I may have any question I can answer. I'll be glad to answer.
Are there any questions? Commissioner Telesfor?
So you are the owner, and you'll be operating the restaurant. Is that
Yes,
what
ma'am.
I understand? Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Can you explain to me, will all of the food preparation take place on site?
No, the bakery is going to be done on the place in Blossom Hill. We have a bakery there. I'm opening another one, the same things in Willow Glen, and that's going to be open in 1.5 months from now. And it's the same idea for the Los Gatos. And we cook all the baker in Blossom Hill, and we bring it to location.
Okay, so what about the bakery? What about the crepe? You were planning on serving crepes, I believe?
Yes, the crepes is going to be cooked in front of the customers outside.
So that will be on-site.
Yes.
And what else would be on-site?
On-site is going to be all the delis. We have organic sandwiches we do on the front, which is we cook in the back and make it everything ready.
What is an organic sandwich?
Well, we do all the all the vegetable we use is going to be organic,
Okay.
and our bread is going to be organic. So we use as much as we can. You know.
I didn't
Yes.
know that term. Okay, that's all for now.
I have one question. When I visited the property, I noticed in the front window, there's the name, the proposed name of the bakery, and there's also a mention of another tenant.
Yes, it's a real estate office that's going to be on second floor.
Okay, I just wasn't clear where that was going to be.
Yeah, it's a second, yes, office space is going to be second floor. We are talking to several tenants right now, but we haven't decided yet. We're going to lease it. There are some people who wants to have a nail shop in there, which is we are not want to have that because it's smelling of the chemical they're using. And then we have they want to have a beauty salon there. We're talking to them. And then also we're talking about another client want to have a fitness center, private fitness center there right now. We have not decided yet.
How big is your other facility on Blossom Hill?
The Blossom Hill is only 2,000 square foot. That's only for looks like the warehouse. We cook everything there 24 hours a day, whatever we need. And we have a van, we bring the bake everything in the site in the morning, early in the morning, and we need more, we bring it in the afternoon.
People who come there, will they be parking underground?
We have a parking underground and we have a parking upstairs on the first ground floor.
Any other questions? Yes, Commissioner Stack.
You mentioned the bakery that you'll be delivering your I guess your baked goods from your other site on Blossom Hill. Would that be, and I'm looking at one of your site plans, A2, it mentions loading and unloading. So would all of your deliveries take place from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. only, or?
No, it's going to be early in the morning. It's going to be about 5 o'clock in the morning before we open. And then it's going to be afternoon about 2, 3 o'clock in case if we need.
Okay. And the way, when I came to visit the site, it was gated, so I wasn't able to look completely. So where you load and unload, during those hours, 8 to 11, for, I guess, the other stores, would that block incoming traffic from parking?
No, that's not going to block because that area is no parking, only for the delivery.
Okay. Okay, and then the second question I have, the hours of operation, it was the only thing really that stood out to me, Sunday through Thursday till 11, and then Friday and Saturday till midnight. Could you just talk to me a little bit about the late operation?
Yes, ma'am. We're opening 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to serve the breakfast in the crepes, and then we have a coffee and pastry for the people before they go to work. So that is the reason. And the nighttime Los Gatos doesn't have any place right now if you want to have sandwich or anything or coffee after 10 o'clock. So we decided to keep it to 11 o'clock so people can come and get the sandwich or get the bread forever late they're going home. They have it. And we look at the timing. If timing does not work for us or nobody show up after 9, 10 o'clock, of course we close it early. We don't want to pay salaries and stuff.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. I'll see if there's anyone else who wants to respond.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
Would anyone else like to comment on this application?
Smells good.
I take it there is no one then who wants to come up to the microphone and comment. Okay, then there's nothing really to rebut, but if you think you've forgotten to say something, you could do that. Okay, then I think we'll close the public hearing, and I will ask the commissioners, whoever would like to lead off, if you have any comments or you'd like to make a motion, please do so. Commissioner Bourgeois.
Thank you. I watched this building go up, and this is probably a portion of Los Gatos Boulevard that's in transition. We have obviously a new building. We're going to have a lot of new tenants. The fate of the car dealerships there is, a lot of rumors flying around town about that. But I think this is a good use for this location. I'm satisfied with the application, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the motion. Getting a little feedback there. So I'd like to move to approve conditional use permit application U-08-009 for operating a bakery and cafe in property zone CH. I can make the findings that the proposed project is categorically exempt pursuant to section 15301 of CEQA as adopted by the town. And I can make the required findings in Exhibit 2, which are that based on the evidence that we've heard through our site visits and through our staff report and the testimony tonight, that the proposed use is desirable for the public convenience, that it will not impair the integrity or character of this zone, will not be detrimental to public health, safety, or general welfare, and that it is in harmony with the various elements of the general plan and the purposes of the town code. And finally, that the approval of this CUP is subject to conditions as in Exhibit 3. And that's my
I'll
motion.
second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? There being none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? It passes unanimously. Thank you.
There are appeal rights. Just for the record, anyone dissatisfied with the decision of the Planning Commission may appeal the decision to the Town Council. The appeal must be filed within 10 days. It must be filed upstairs in the clerk department. There are fees for filing an appeal.
All right, that really just concludes the public hearings. Is there anything, a report from the staff at all?
The only thing I have is to let you know that council is proposing to have a retreat with the Planning Commission. We don't have a specific date set yet. We are working on those dates, but the plan is to have it on the night of a Planning Commission meeting. And if you have any topics that you would like to discuss with the council, please email those to Bud.
Thank you. Do any of the
Who should we email them to?
Bud.
Oh, to Bud.
Do any of the commissioners have anything they'd like to bring up at this point? There being nothing left on the agenda, we can adjourn. That'll be the fastest meeting we've had in 5 years. So, thank you all.
In 11 years, Tom.
Thank you.